Hey, what's up guys? My name is Kenneth, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to use optical flow in order to super smooth your 30 frames per second clip, and I'm going to be doing all this in Adobe Premiere Pro. As I mentioned in one of my previous videos on how to get cinematic b-roll right here, in that video I did mention that if I got to 15 likes on that video, I would do this tutorial right here. This feature on Adobe Premiere Pro I have been using for a little bit now. It's crazy that I haven't been using it for a lot longer because it is definitely a game changer. The optical flow feature has definitely changed the feel of my videos. Just helps the video clips with stepping up to another level and providing that little bit of touch of cinematic feel into the video as well. Alright, so by the end of this video I'm going to be telling you the step-by-step process on how you can get that smooth slow motion using optical flow on Adobe Premiere. Alright, so without further ado, let's get on to this video. Alright, so step number one, easy enough, is going to be to import your clips onto Adobe Premiere Pro. Once you have them there, you can organize them the way that you want, put them into bins and stuff, but right now we're just going to be using one clip. Alright, so once you have your clip onto the project, you want to make a new sequence. You can drag it onto the timeline. So once it's on the timeline, that is when we are going to go to step two. So step two is going to be to slow down your clip. You can slow this down a couple ways. The first way you can slow down your clip is to click on the clip and then right click it, go and scroll down to speed and duration, and then slow it down. This is where you can input the percentage of what you want to slow your clip down. In our case, for this tutorial, we're going to slow it down to 50%. Alright, so the second way to slow down your clip is to use a keyboard shortcut. In this case, we're going to just press the keyboard shortcut for stretching out the clip. So in this case, press the letter R on your keyboard, and once you have that, you can see your cursor change to a different tool, and then you're going to use that tool to go to the end of the clip and then kind of just like drag it out. Once you drag it out a certain length, it's going to tell you how much percentage the clip has been dragged out and stretched to. That's basically how much the clip has been slowed down to. In our case, just try to get it as close as 50% as possible. Alright, so now we're going to step number three, and this is where we are going to use optical flow. There are a couple ways to implement the optical flow feature as well. So the first case is when we go back to the clip, right click onto it, go to speed and duration. Right under that, there's going to be a tick box that says optical flow. So that is kind of just like where you want to tick, and then it changes your clip to optical flow. Easy as that, right? Another way to do it, if you don't want to do it that way, is that you can actually go to the timeline again, right click it, go scroll down, and instead of going to speed and duration, you want to go to the drop down that says time interpolation. So in time interpolation, go there, and then it's going to give you three different options. I think it's frame sampling, frame blending, and optical flow. Obviously you want to click on optical flow, and it's going to change your clip into optical flow. All right, and the very fourth and final step is going to be rendering your clip. You want to render your clip because, going back to the last step, once you click the optical flow, you're going to see on the top of the timeline, it's going to change from either green or yellow. On the timeline, it's going to turn red. What you want to do is to render this clip in order to get a smooth playback while you are on the project. In this case, I'm going to set an in and out point, and then I'm going to click enter to render the clip. It's going to take a little bit of time for Premiere Pro to kind of finish rendering, but it's going to help you with kind of being able to preview it before having to export an entire project file. Alright, so once all of that is rendered, you can go ahead and go to the clip again and then just play the playback and then see if that's how you want it to be. Some considerations when using optical flow is that it is not a perfect feature. It does help a lot in some cases on footage that is not too complex, but do understand that you can't use it on all different clips. If your clip is too shaky, if it's too complex, if it's like all over the place, you know, it's hard to do optical flow for that type of clip. But if it's like a pretty simple clip and it's just you really want to make it slow motion and there's not too much complexity in the clip, optical flow will definitely help you out a lot on that. Make sure you hit the notification bell down below, because in next week's video I'm going to be doing a 2019 recap of my entire year, and if you don't want to miss that, go ahead and also leave a subscribe as well. And as always, I hope you learned something from this video, and leave down in the comment section below your biggest takeaway on this video. Maybe even comment on whatever other ideas you want me to create related to video editing and stuff like that. And on that note, that is all I have for you this week. Happy holidays to everybody, and I will see you next Monday. All right.